whispering shadows, haunting encounters in an abandoned asylum. The rain pelted relentlessly against the shattered windows of the decrepit asylum, creating an eerie symphony that echoed through the desolate halls. Ivy crept up the walls like skeletal fingers, and the moon cast an ethereal glow on the building's dilapidated facade. For decades, the old asylum had stood as a shadowy relic, shrouded in a sinister reputation that kept even the bravest souls at bay. Amelia, a curious journalist with a penchant for the macabre, had long been drawn to the asylum's dark history. Legends of tortured souls and haunting whispers fueled her fascination. Determined to uncover the truth, she embarked on a solitary journey, armed with a camera, a flashlight, and a heart that brimmed with trepidation. As Amelia pushed open the rusty gate, its creaking hinges sounded like a mournful wail. The asylum loomed before her, its windows like vacant eyes watching her every move. The oppressive silence was broken only by the distant howl of the wind and the tap-tap-tap of raindrops on decaying wood. Entering the asylum felt like crossing a threshold into another realm. The air hung heavy with the stench of dampness and decay. The walls, adorned with faded wallpaper peeling in surrender, bore witness to the asylum's tormented past. Amelia's footsteps echoed through the desolate corridors as she ventured deeper into the abyss. The asylum seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, as if the very essence of suffering lingered in the air. Amelia's flashlight flickered intermittently, casting long, unsettling shadows that danced along the walls. She moved cautiously, drawn to the darkest corners, guided only by the haunting whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. The first encounter came in the form of a distant moan, an otherworldly lament that sent shivers down Amelia's spine. Her heart raced as she followed the sound, the floor creaking beneath her weight. The moans grew louder, more pronounced, until they became an agonized chorus echoing through the asylum's hollow halls. Turning a corner, Amelia stumbled upon a decaying recreation room. Broken toys and tattered books lay scattered across the cold floor. A once colorful mural, now faded and peeling, depicted smiling children in a playground. But there was no joy left in those eyes, only a haunting emptiness that mirrored the asylum's own. Amelia's attention was drawn to a dilapidated rocking chair swaying gently in the corner. Despite the absence of wind, the chair moved as if cradling an invisible occupant. The unsettling moans crescendoed, converging into a mournful wail that reverberated through the room. Summoning her courage, Amelia spoke into the silence. "Is anyone here?" The response was a chilling gust of air, and the rocking chair stilled. The room fell silent once more, leaving Amelia alone with the haunting echoes of the past. The second encounter came in the form of flickering lights that led her to the asylum's forgotten library. Dust-covered books lined the shelves, their spines cracked and yellowed with age. Amelia, guided by the strange energy that pulsed through the room, pulled a weathered tome from the shelf. As she leafed through the pages, the room plunged into darkness. Panic surged through her, but before she could react, the flickering lights returned, revealing the library transformed. Ghostly apparitions occupied the tables, reading invisible books and whispering to each other in hushed tones. Amelia's breath caught in her throat as she witnessed the residual echoes of the asylum's former inhabitants. These spectral readers seemed oblivious to her presence, trapped in a never-ending loop of intellectual pursuits from beyond the grave. The third encounter occurred in the asylum's forgotten chapel, a room where shadows congregated and the air felt thick with solemnity. As Amelia approached the desecrated altar, a haunting hymn filled the air. Unseen voices harmonized in a melody that resonated with sorrow and penance. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The temperature dropped, and the once hallowed space became suffused with an oppressive energy. Amelia felt a chilling breath on the back of her neck, and she turned to confront a phantom congregation, their eyes fixed on the altar. In unison, they turned their gaze towards her. The ghostly congregation parted, revealing a figure clad in tattered white, a spectral nun who glided towards the altar with an ethereal grace. As she raised her head, hollow eyes met Amelia's, and a guttural whisper escaped her lips. "Leave this place, child of the living, for darkness claims all who dare trespass." Amelia stumbled backward, her heart pounding, but an unrelenting curiosity propelled her forward. She pressed on, guided by an unseen force that seemed to beckon her deeper into the asylum's haunted embrace. The fourth encounter was a revelation in the asylum's forgotten medical ward. The stench of antiseptic lingered in the air as Amelia discovered a room filled with rusted medical instruments and decaying hospital beds. As she explored, a series of unsettling visions unfolded before her eyes. Spectral nurses moved through the ward, tending to invisible patients with cold efficiency. Amelia watched in horror as the phantoms reenacted medical procedures, their faces contorted with the anguish of a bygone era. Each procedure seemed to echo with the pain and suffering of those who had once called the asylum home. Amelia's camera captured the spectral choreography, documenting the residual trauma etched into the fabric of the asylum. The weight of the past bore down on her as she realized the depth of the suffering that permeated every inch of the forsaken institution. In the final encounter, Amelia found herself drawn to the asylum's attic, an abyss untouched by the passage of time. The air hung heavy with anticipation as she ascended the creaking stairs, her flashlight flickering in rhythm with her racing heart. The attic revealed itself as a repository of forgotten memories, a trove of decaying artifacts and discarded possessions. But in the center of the room stood a long-forgotten piano, its keys stained with the residue of countless fingers that had once played haunting melodies. Amelia approached the piano, compelled to unearth the secrets that lay dormant within its aged wood. As her fingers touched the keys, an otherworldly symphony echoed through the attic. Ghostly hands materialized, playing alongside her in a melancholic harmony that transcended the boundaries of the living and the dead. The haunting melody reverberated through the asylum, breaking the shackles that bound the spirits to their tormented existence. The moans, whispers, and wails melted into the ethereal music, creating a bittersweet resonance that filled the air. In that moment, the spirits found solace, their anguish transformed into a haunting serenade that echoed through the asylum's hollow halls. The oppressive energy lifted, and the shadows retreated, leaving behind a profound stillness. Amelia descended from the attic, her heart heavy with the weight of the asylum's history. As she stepped beyond the rusted gate, the rain had subsided, and a spectral glow enveloped the asylum in an otherworldly radiance. The ivy seemed to retreat, revealing the beauty that lay beneath the decay. The asylum stood silent, its secrets laid bare by the haunting encounters of the night. Amelia, now a witness to the spectral symphony that resonated within its walls, carried with her the stories of the forgotten souls who had found release in the haunting echoes of the whispering shadows.